think off air you had mentioned Russell Westbrook. So there was a freshman on that state championship team, a guy named Carl Lucas, and his mother was the lunch lady at the school, and she was very nice, and she was a Seventh-day Adventist, so church on Saturdays. And she became sort of my first friend in Hollandale, and just really, kind of took me in, and she invited me to church. And I'd had a good friend in college who was a Seventh-day Adventist, so I was familiar a little bit. So, and I'm not religious, but I went to church with them a couple times, with Mrs. Lucas and Carl a couple times. And it was just nice having, having someone older who I could ask for advice, who could tell me about the town and so forth. And in my second year there, so Carl's sophomore year, after winning the state championship, she died suddenly. And it turns out she had cancer, and they didn't catch it until very late. And that summer, and you can imagine how devastating that can be. And that summer, and again, kind of going back to luck, and this doesn't have anything to do with what happened, but Carl reached out to me years later and mentioned this. That summer, I paid for Carl to go to a Division I basketball camp in Mississippi, to Mississippi Valley State. And later on in his high school career, Carl got a full scholarship to play at Mississippi Valley State, which is in the SWAC D1. And Carl's senior year at Valley, they win the SWAC and get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, and they win the play-in game. So now they're the lowest seed, they're the 64th seed in the tournament, and they play the number 1 seed, which is UCLA, with Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook.
Holy
So
cow.
Carl was a starter on that team, and he's like, yeah, shared the court with Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook. And the coach at Simmons High School in the year of our Lord 2021 is Carl Lucas. So it's this beautiful thing of, here's a kid that I taught and coached freshman, sophomore year. He plays D1, and now he's the coach at the school where I coached him.